Hey, Charlie here. Today we're going to cover a little bit about accessible kayaking and canoeing and a few little helpful tips that I've used over the past probably 25 years or so. So let's get right to it. This is my first kayak that I owned. It's called the Featherlight Angler, and it's got places for your fishing poles. But aside from all of that, that doesn't matter. What this is a flat-bottomed kayak. So it sits on the water very flat. So when I want to use this, I basically put my legs inside of the kayak and transfer onto the back of it. So the first thing I do, once I'm sitting on the back and nice and stable, I put the cushion in. Well, there's the cushion. Then I jump into the kayak, getting my feet in front of the cushion, and then I put the back in. This back has several cleats. So one of these cleats was for canoeing in the middle of the boat. One's for whatever. It's adjustable. This is the cleat I use for kayaking, and I'm finding that it's a little bit too low. So I'm going to raise it up a little bit, or actually put it down a little bit so that it gets straighter. So this cleat locks underneath here when you put it in. So a little lower, under the cleat. All right, now push back on it. All right, now you're locked in. Now you have a very stable platform and you're ready to go kayaking. If you're a quadriplegic, I'll show you a little thing I did. Maybe you could grab the red paddle. Now, as far as kayak paddle goes, I've tried a whole bunch of them and just made my own up. I got sick and tired of the rubber tire tubes and things that weren't really secured hard enough. There's several brands out there that you can buy. You can put your hand in and tighten it down. But I don't know how you tighten down the second one by yourself. Makes kayaking alone pretty difficult. This is just a piece of 6061 aluminum. You want to get stuff like street sign. Ask for it if you don't know what it is. It's much stiffer than call it drugstore aluminum, which would just bend like crazy. So that's just a ramp. Put your hand in here, and as you bring it up, it tightens up. So you put your hand in, and then as you bring it up, it gets tighter and tighter. And then you can have control of the paddle and really have at it without pulling out. And if you fall in the water, you just pull your hands out. And once they're wet, they come right out anyways. So you won't even notice it. The other thing, if you do make some of these, you want to put a padding on the upper side of the handle. If you don't, mine wore out. I got a nice little cut there, like a blister. This side you can see my padding wore off from a couple of years of padding, and I just haven't put it back in. But I will do that. If you're getting any blisters, chunk of duct tape also helps. This is a flat water. It's 10 feet long. And it's wonderful just for gunk holing, going anywhere with this. You can go over logs, up beaver dams with it. It's flexible on the bottom, so much more stable to play with. And a great little tool. All right, this is my sea kayak. It's almost 14 feet long, 13.9. And again, with this, the seat comes right out of this. All right, I keep the seat for other people that may use it. And then, the same as the short kayak, jump on the back, put the cushion in. Yep, the cushion goes in. Then I jump down and put the back behind me. Okay, and you're good to go. This one has a couple compartments. It has a little deeper bow, so much better in the waves. I don't go in the open ocean with rolling. There are some people that can do that. My balance is not that good. This one has a little more of a V-ish bottom. I guess they call it chime. I don't know what that means, but you can see that it's much more rocky than the flat bottom one. This one also, I made a rudder for it. You get in the wind and you're paddling out on the ocean, you might want a rudder. So this can move back and forth in the rudder. And I also use that for sailing. So a little trick I do is always carry an umbrella with you. If it's too sunny, you can put it in the back on that one. And the fishing one, I can stick it in the fishing hole, jury rig it. Or if it starts raining and you pull off, you can do that too. But when you get anywhere, most of the time it's windy. So I always make a habit of paddling upstream first or against the wind first. And when I want to come back home, oh, there it is, okay. I pop this open and then I hold it 90 degrees to the wind. So you look something like this going down the bay or across the lake. So a great little aid that you don't have to paddle. And I tie a rope on it. I don't have it right now, but I tie a rope on it and wrap it around my wrist. I've lost a few of them where they go in the water. And if you think you're picking this up straight out of the water, you're wrong. Nobody can do that. So I've lost some and learned to just tie it to my wrist, stop, and then pull it out sideways so I can dump the water while it's going out. And what I do is, if you're on a lake and you know where your boat ramp is or where you're going to take out, paddle up so that you're right across from where you want to be. Then open this up and sail right back to your put-in. Saves a lot of energy. It's actually faster than me paddling when I'm tired. One cute story, I did this one day on a big lake, and people on the shore at the boat ramp could see this blue and white thing coming across the lake. And so I just sailed all the way up to the boat ramp, and when I was going by to the boat ramp, they're like, "Oh my God, it's an umbrella." We thought it was a giant beach ball blowing across the lake, but it was me. So they just thought that was the cutest idea, and I said, yeah, just get an umbrella and fly home. So kind of a cute idea, and you can just take it down whenever you want to. And then when the weather or the wind picks up, just pop it out again. And then you're good to sail. Anyways, that's a little trick that you can do. This rudder you can make out of PVC if you're interested in it. Not a big deal, not a deal killer. But this has been a great boat. It's made by Old Town. I bought it for $200 used from a state program. And it's made of like some type of plastic, okay? It does stretch, does scratch. Very rugged though. So with me, I'm always sliding on the gravel when somebody pulls me in or up. You'll notice I've mounted a stainless steel, not a hook, but a circle. Can't think of the technical name, but I mounted that on both of my kayaks. When I'm kayaking now in a place with a steep bank, I will just take this and put a rope through this and tie it to the trailer hitch in my car and pull myself, well, I have somebody pull me, obviously, right up onto the flat ground, and then I do the transfer. And there are a lot of different ways you can do transfers. Now that I'm older and not jumping from the floor to my chair anymore, my shoulders are too blown out for that. And I think I've gained about 20 pounds of weight. But I'm on a diet. One other thing that I made for helping with transfers, it's nothing more than an ATV jack. You can buy it at Harbor Freight for probably a couple $100. You just transfer from there onto this jack, then get your legs out, and then somebody can just jack you up to the height of your wheelchair, and you can stabilize yourself on this large platform. It's plenty large to hold on to, and then you can just transfer, boom, right into your wheelchair. A little trick, something that I just made up. This is some closed cell foam to give you some protection for your butt so you don't get a sore. while you're doing this. Another little trick you can do is make yourself a large sliding board. This one you can see I made just a couple chunks of wood and mounted it to, I don't know, it's probably 3/8 plywood. But the idea is that this fits on the gunnel of whatever boat you're transferring from. Okay, now obviously that's way too steep of a transfer, so you'd have to make this a fair amount longer. But somebody can guide you and slide you right up the board if you needed it. Unfortunately, I don't have that board anymore. I'm using it for a different application, which we're always morphing around here as I change. But if you make this, it'll stay right on your gunnel, and you'll want to get it long enough so that you have an angle, something like that, and be able to go right up and not injure yourself. Another kayak that I absolutely love, it's not one that I use personally, but I always carry it with me when I go camping. The first kayak, the little heritage one, the flat bottom one, that one fits right underneath the bed of my trailer for camping. But I couldn't drag around 2 kayaks. There's no room in the van to throw all this stuff. So the good people of Tuk Tech actually sent me this. It's a roll-up kayak. Beautiful. So it doesn't take up any space hardly. It's probably this tall by about that wide when it's rolled up. And it folds out like origami and becomes this super utilitarian little kayak. And surprisingly, everybody that uses it loves it. They say it's so comfortable, they can rest their arms on the padding. And here's something, when I first looked into this, they said, oh, it fell apart on me and I was out in the water, I could have drowned and blah, blah, blah. Impossibility. The way they've got this set up, there's no way that you could undo these locks and have them come free. Now, maybe it was an early design flaw, but if you look closely here, this metal aluminum pieces goes under another piece, and this lever locks over it. I can't even unlock it unless I pull a pin. Okay, you have to pull a pin out. Then you still can't unlock it. You have to swivel this little arm here with the hole in it. Yeah, it's so stiff, yeah. And now it can unfold. If you think you can do all that and have it fall out, you're wrong. There's no way this thing could unfold. And people, oh, it's not rugged enough, it's gonna break. Well, if you're going along and you hit something, just give it a whack. All right? Nothing you're gonna hit in the water is gonna be harder than that. Now, we've run into logs and snags and gone right over them downriver where you can't do anything but hit a rock. Totally unfazed, not even scratched really. It's very tough material. It weighs only about 28 pounds and it's good, it's plenty. So thank you to the good people of Tuk Tech. I'm not bragging about this because you gave it to me. I wouldn't sell my soul for $250, but a super product. I can throw it in my van and I can carry all kinds of other vehicles and stuff in my camper. So thank you, and it's a great little product to keep in mind if you need 2 kayaks or 3 and you don't have the room. For our 4th example here, we're going to talk about canoeing. I've been canoeing all my life, ever since I was a little kid. My father had a canoe. We went everywhere with it. So this is how I start with the canoe, and then you put your legs over and jump in, you're grabbing the gunnels. This is another old town. It's a still water, which is a flat bottom canoe with a slight keel running up the center. Super stable. All right, if you think you're gonna be sitting under the bottom of this thing below the water line and tip it over, you'd have to do something absolutely nutso like sit up on the gunnel. Let's face it. I don't know if you know, but water is about 63 pounds a cubic foot. So to displace even a quarter of this 36-inch wide boat, you're talking hundreds of pounds. You can lean way over, grab things out of the water, stick your head in the water. This will not tip over, okay? I don't use a paddle anymore, like a canoe paddle. I can give that to someone up front if I want, but I use a kayak paddle, same as before. This saves you from switching from side to side when you're trying to make the boat go where you want to. The guy in the back is driving. You can do J strokes, everything you want with a kayak paddle and not be swinging it across the boat getting wet. And the best thing about this boat is the gunnels are very high. If you're a C5 quad, C4 quad even, you're not even gonna paddle, all right? But you can have somebody put you down in here and these sidewalls are gonna hold you up. You wanna demonstrate that? Just have a seat? All right, we'll get the cameraman here. Yeah, all right. So he's held in place by these sidewalls. So you're perfectly safe canoeing with somebody else who's sitting up the front. They can actually paddle backwards and do this. I've never used it with a front wheel drive canoe, but you can do it. But usually the person in front, she just turns around and you know, they're gonna do that for lunch or whatever else you're doing in it. Now I know some of you are probably saying, ah, hell, I'm a C5 quad, I've gained a little weight, I'm in a power chair, how am I ever gonna get into this thing? Well, we built something kind of slick for a buddy of mine, Rich. God rest his soul, he passed on before we could use it. So let me show you a little trick that you can use. And in fact, while I'm thinking of it, if there's a canoeing and kayak program that would like to get this, I'd be happy to give it to you free. You just have to pick it up. All right, so let me show you this cute little, instead of your Hoyer lift, let's go to my car and I'll show you something else. So here's a little slick trick you can use if you're a higher level quad and you need some muscle. This is another Harbor Freight deal. About $150 for the jack, probably $25, put that right in. All the way in. There you go. This bottom part that's black, that's like a dual trailer hitch receiver. Harbor Freight, probably 40 bucks. This is just a jack that's made for the bed of a pickup truck. So a few years back, it was about $150. All right, and you can see how this is gonna take the place of your Hoyer lift. I usually throw a piece of wood under there, but since we're filming, God knows where that's gotten to after so many years. All right, I put a brick under there so as you gain weight, you don't have to destroy the springs of your car or anything else. So this jack, 3-ton jack on an angle. Right now it's set to 500 pounds. So if you weigh more than 500 pounds, you're in trouble, all right? Doesn't matter. But this thing, keep going, it has no trouble lifting me up. And it swings around, so if you're over there, you can go over there and grab them. You can go all the way up and lift them up, and then once you get him, drive his wheelchair under him, or her, whatever. You got bad knees, you can use this too. We'll pick you up by the neck. All right, you get the picture. This just keeps going until it's like just about vertical. You can see that with and this is low because my car's in a hole, but with a Hoyer lift thing, this will be plenty to get you up. We could gain another 6 inches just by not putting the back end of my car down in a dip. But you get the idea, that's what counts. And if there's a program out there that would want to use this, just don't sue me over it. It's not OSHA approved. No human life should ever be on this thing. But if you break this chain, you got more troubles than that. So anyways, if there's somebody out there that wants this and can pick it up in Massachusetts, put me down in the comments. If there's something else you want to see, or if there's some other tricks that you already have, put them in the comments. We can add them in. I can always learn something new. Well, That's all for today. Until then, keep your mind full and your bowels empty. Before we close out this video, let me talk for a couple seconds about PFDs, or personal flotation devices. This is a very nice one, and the great thing about this is the back is completely open. So you have some life preservers, they're always pushing you forward while you're in your seat, and fairly uncomfortable. A friend of mine bought me this one. Thank you, Sandy. I don't know how much they cost, but I'm guessing probably in the area of $200 now. But you can see that this big buckle clips in. You know, sailing or anything, you can certainly tie yourself off to these D-clamps and you're going to be good. I'm not going to buckle it just because it's so hot. I'm just going to take it off. But anyways, a nice choice. And this little thing is the Tuk-Tek kayak rolled up. Super invention. Thank you, Peter and Tuk-Tek.